Good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing? We got us a special guest here. All right, sorry about that. All right, we're going to go talk about spoilers. How you doing today, Tony?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Doing pretty good. That was interesting. We just got done playing some Commander on the spell table, and anybody's welcome to play if they want to ever join. All they got to do is let me know, and I'll send them a link to the spell table when we do our Commander games at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time every day. All right, let's get into these spoilers. Let's start from the bottom, work our way up to the top. We're just going over the ones for today. And if you want to, Tony, we can take turns reading these if you want.
And let me just pull up the spoilers.
You want to take the first one?
Here we are. Let me pull it up.
Okay. I hope everybody's having a good day today. I'm having an awesome day. Didn't win that Commander game, but I sure did give it my best, dag blaggit.
Yep, you sure did.
Best thing about it is, it's what Magic is meant to be. Have fun. That's all it's about, is just having fun.
Alright, it's the Green Belt Radicals, right?
Yeah, Case of the Locked Hothouse.
Oh, that one. Alright, we got a Case of the Locked Hothouse. You can play an additional land on each of your turns. To solve, you control 7 or more lands. When you solve it, you may look at the top card of your library at any time, and you may play lands and cast creatures and enchantment spells from the top of your library.
Interesting. Fun. My opinion about this card is it's a pretty good card because you get to play 2 lands on turn 4.
2 lands, and if you have 7 or more, you get to play from the top of your library. So that's a +1 to your hand.
Correct. And by then, you want to have 4 lands on the battlefield. So when you play this, then you want to have 6 lands on the battlefield. If you have 2 lands in your hand, that is. And then all you need is just 1 more land in order to get this up and moving. So that's a pretty good card there. That's my opinion about that card. All right, next up we have Essence of Antiquity. I can't read this one. Antiquity. Thank you. Antiquity. For 3 white, a 1/10 creature. Ooh, man, that's a big booty on that thing. And it has Disguise. So you can pay 3 and play this for a 2/2 creature with Ward 2. Not bad. Easy way to get it out on the battlefield. And then you pay 3 to flip it. And when you flip it, when this card is turned face up, creatures you control gain hexproof until end of turn and untap them. Interesting. So they gain hexproof, so it's a protection creature. It's a protection spell inside the creature. I like it. It's a pretty good card because you can flip that Disguise cost at any time. It's kind of like an instant. Very nice. And you want the next one?
Sure, because I actually have a deck that this would fit well in. Repulsive Mutation, X, green, and blue. Put X +1/+1 counters on target creature you control. Then counter up to 1 target spell unless its controller pays mana equal to the greatest power among creatures you control.
Oh,
that's good.
My God. What a counter spell.
I like it because it's a buff, and you get to counter as a extra.
That is busted. All right, next card I'm gonna have to click on because I don't know no foreign language. Hey, Blagget Wizard, quit giving me ding on foreign language cards. Okay, Chalk Outline for 3 green enchantment. Whenever one or more creature cards leave your graveyard, create a blue and white 2/2 detective creature token, then investigate. So you're getting an investigate token out of this and a 2/2 creature. And it's a detective too, and there's some cards in here that work with detectives.
You know what mechanic would make this busted?
What's that?
Delve.
Yep.
Delve would make this so crazy.
Yep. And for the viewers that's on here, what is Delve?
You don't know what Delve is?
I'll let you explain it to the viewers.
Delve is essentially you have a big creature, but you can make it cheaper by exiling stuff from your graveyard. So if you start exiling creatures, you can make tokens with it.
Nice. That's pretty good.
Though the one or more doesn't make it as good, because you only make one per, 3. So it has plus and downsides.
Yeah.
But that investigate's pretty good.
Yeah, it is. I'll let you take the net. We'll just do all. You take one, I'll take one. We'll just do it vice versa till we get through them all.
What happened? Oh, put me down a bit. Alright, we got Greenbelt Radicals. 3 a green creature, Centaur Citizen. It has Disguise, 5 and 2 green. And when Greenbelt Radicals turned face up, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. All creatures you control gain trample until end of turn. Holy smokes.
Wow. So you flip it for
you have to flip it for 7.
Oh, 7 costs. Well, a lot of people playing that creatures with that cost 7, so this ain't too far from that. So
it's in green. They'll have the 7.
Oh yeah, green is good with ramp, especially with that battle that gets you 2 lands when it comes into the battlefield. And then green has a bunch of mana dorks also. So I can see this card being played, and it's a 4/4, turns into a 5/5. So you're looking at a 5/5 for 7, and which really ain't bad at all.
4/4.
No, well, when it enters the battle, turn face up, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So yeah, this is.
Oh, it turns into a 5/5.
Exactly, this will be a 5/5 instead of a 4/4. It'll buff itself up to a 5/5.
Not like green needs anything that gives trampling too much.
So yeah, this is a good card. I mean, you gotta look at it as a 5/5 instead of a 4/4 for 7. So, because it buffs itself, plus it buffs all your other creatures. So, this card here, I think it's a good card. Hey, Johnny.
Hi, Johnny.
But what do you think about this card?
It's good. I can see potential with it.
I like it. All right, next up we have another dang gone foreign card. Dagblaggett. Pompous Show Off. What are you trying to say, Wizards? I'm a pompous show off? Dagblaggett. Okay, we got as a pompous show off for 2 green. Creature, human citizen. Pompous show off has hexproof as long as it's your turn. So if it's your turn, it cannot be targeted. But when it goes to your opponent's turn, look out, it can be targeted. And it's a 4/2 also. And Pompous Show Off cannot be blocked by creatures without names. Eh? Oh. Your face down creatures do not have names. They're just face down 2/2 creatures.
So this would be good if you're facing against another deck that has the same thing going for it.
Correct. So if your opponent's playing those face down cards, you can attack with this and it's unblockable.
Yes, Johnny, Simic, Flip, and Commander.
Yep. So this card here, it has a little booty on it. It's 4/2. It only has hexproof during your turn, so your opponent can target it during their turn.
I'd see it only being good if you could like get rid of the names or like flip over the creatures. But actually, there are a few cards that do that.
Yeah.
But not too many.
Yeah, I think this is I think it's a filler. What do you think? Think it's a filler?
Yeah.
Okay.
More likely put in there in case you have to face against the deck like this.
Okay. You got the next one.
Alright, and we got Case of the Burning Mask. 1 and 2 red. It's an enchantment case. When Case of the Burning Mask enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to target creature an opponent controls. To solve 3 or more sources you control dealt damage this turn.
Okay.
And then when it's solved, sacrifice this. Exile the top 3 cards of your library. Choose one of them. You may play that card this turn.
Well, this can be a good card if you're all low cost creatures. If you're all low cost creatures, then you may have the land for when it for when this is solved to be able to play those top 3 cards. If not, then no.
You can only play one of them though.
Exile the top 3 cards. Yeah, you can only play one. So, but also this can be a big whiff. It can whiff easily after it's solved. Because let's say you do 3 damage, from 3 different sources to your opponent. Well, then you get it solved. If you're tapped out, then or you just get land when it's solved. Well, if you done
that's happened.
Yep, and if you done played your land for turn, then this card whiffs. So my opinion about this card, I think it's a bad card.
Yeah. It's cheap though.
Yeah.
So you could use it to help yourself a little bit, but
I mean, the first part of it is good. 3 damage to target creature and opponent. No, 3 damage to target creature opponent control. So it only hits a creature for 3. But other than that, it ain't that good.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, we have an English card. I can read. Okay, Mistway Spy. Merfolk Detective for 1 blue, and it's a 1/1. Well, most of your merfolks is weak like this.
They're cheap.
Yep. And this creature has disguise for 2. So you pay 1 and a blue to flip it. or you pay 3, which is more than the casting cost, to turn it into a 2/2 creature with Ward 2.
Let's see if its flip up effect is any good.
Yeah. When Mistway Spy is turned face up, until the end of turn, whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, investigate. Well, I like being able to investigate.
But it's only until end of turn.
Correct. It's only till end of turn. So for 2, you flip this. This has flying, which is good. You flip this, and you get to investigate 1 time. Unless you find a way to flip it back around. Yeah. It's...
Unless...
I think it's okay.
With its wording, you could actually probably do more than 1.
Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, investigate. Yeah, you can get more than 1 investigate. So, yeah, that changes my opinion about this card. I think it's a mediocre card. I think it's, not real good, but good enough to say it's good. That's my opinion about it. I think it's good enough to say it's good, but not great.
Like I said about another card, which one was it? The Trample card?
Yeah.
Not like Merfolk needed any more help.
Correct. Merfolk does have green in it. But what's your opinion about this spy?
I think it's good if you want to make some clue tokens and attack. Be a little aggressive.
Okay.
But they have to deal combat damage, and Merfolk have a way to do that.
Oh, yeah.
They got 12.5.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Merfolks right now. Alright, you get a English card, too.
Yeah, Crovode Hotch. Artifact food equipment for 1. You get pay 2 to tap it, sacrifice it, and gain 3 life. When it's put into the graveyard from the battlefield, you can pay 1 and a white. If you do, create 2 1/1 white dog creature tokens. Ooh.
Woofers.
With an equipment cost of 2.
I like this.
It's got a... I like that it's equipment where you can put +2 onto another creature, +2/+0.
Yep.
And if you don't want it, you can gain 3 life and get a couple dogs.
Yep. So, but you'd have to pay 4 to get the dogs, because you got to pay 2 to sacrifice it, and then 2 more to get the dogs. So it's a total of 4 for this ability to work. So you're looking at a total maybe 5. 1 to cast it, 2 to sacrifice it, and 2 to get your doggos. I still like it, though.
Oh, yeah. And that food, that's going to be important for the decks that like the food tokens.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, it's already got a place, I believe, in the food decks.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay, let me
yeah, that is true, Johnny.
You are running that red German language case card, and an Exile Matters like Boros could see potential in Commander. Yeah, I agree. All right, next up we have Due Vigilance for 2 and a white enchantment aura. Enchant creature. When Due Vigilance enters a battlefield, target creature you control other than enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and gains vigilance until end of turn. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and has vigilance. Okay. So it gives all your creatures +2/+2, and vigilance for 1 turn. And it gives the enchanted creature +2/+2. You could do enter the battlefield. Target creature you control. It only targets one other creature. So you get 2 creatures on the battlefield. You pay 3. You play this. You attach it to your weakest creature. Then you give your strongest creature a +2/+2 with vigilance for 1 turn. And the creature that this attaches to will always have +2/+2 and vigilance.
It's decent.
Yeah. It's decent. It's not, it don't fall into the bad category, but it don't fall into the great category either. I think it does fall into maybe the good category.
Yeah, because white has a bunch of ways to make vigilance.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a lot of buffs.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So it's good, but it's not something to write home about.
Right. It's good, but not great.
It'd be good for those enchantment decks, though.
Yeah, it would be very good for the enchantments. Because it is a enchantment itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's keep moving right along here.
We got Seasoned Consultant. A 1 and a white creature human detective. Whenever you attack with 3 or more creatures, Seasoned Consultant gets +2/+0 until end of turn.
So basically, this is just a 3/3.
Yeah.
It's okay. However, you got to think about some removal here. You got that 1 removal that can easily kill this, cost 1 black.
Mm-hmm.
And with creatures with power less than 5, this is 4 in total, so it can kill it easily. So no, I don't think this is too good because it's too easy to get killed. But other than that,
for 2 mana, you're just getting a 1/3, and it has to have at least 3 other creatures to attack with to be a 3/3. So,
well, this counts as itself too. So you only have to have this one and 2 others to attack in order for it to get its effect. But still, I don't think it's there.
No.
All right, next up we have Agency Coroner for 5. 4 generic, 1 black, a 3/6 Warg Cleric.
2 black. 2
and
black.
2 black.
I like its effect.
Well, pay 2 and a black, sacrifice another creature, draw a card. Then if the sacrificed creature was suspected, draw 2 cards instead. Nice. And there's ways to get your own creature suspected. I mean, there's a case that makes a skeleton token that comes in, and when that skeleton token comes in, it's suspected. So you take this and with that black battle, it's a black battle too. You play it, then you sacrifice that token, you get to draw 2 cards. And when your opponent suspects one of your creatures, you can pay 2 and a black and sacrifice it and draw 2 cards also. And this card is pretty good because it has a big booty on it. It's a 3/6, so yeah. 6 booty, yeah. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Good card draw. Interesting. And remember, folks, this is only opinions. Only opinions. I could be right on these cards, or I could be wrong.
Everybody sees different ways of playing cards.
Correct. what I might see as awful, you might see as very good. That's why there's two of us on here, and I don't. And anybody else is welcome to join in. Let us know. Let me know, your opinion. All right, let's go on to the next one.
All right, we got Clandestine Meddler, a 2-black creature vampire rogue. When Clandestine Meddler enters the battlefield, suspect up to one other target creature you control.
Ooh.
It's a good way to get suspect on something.
Yeah.
And whenever one or more suspected creatures you control attacks, surveil 1.
Oh.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good. And that also works with that last card we just looked at. You could attack with that card, surveil 1, and then after you surveil, sack it and draw the cards that you surveilled. Nice. That because this card right here, Clandestine Meddler, works great with Agency Coroner.
Mm-hmm.
I see a deck brewing there.
And if you don't like the card that you're fixing to draw, you can just toss it in the graveyard. Because that's what Surveil does.
Exactly. All right, next up we got Polygraph Orb. 4 generic, 1 black. Artifact. Okay. When Polygraph Orb enters a battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. That's good. Put 2 of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard, and you lose 2 life. Pay 2, tap it, collect evidence 3. So that means you have to collect evidence up to 3, which is like mana value. Like, for example, Due Diligence costs 3. So if Due Diligence is in your graveyard, you use that to collect your evidence. And collecting evidence, what that is, you exile the mana value of what the evidence is calling for. But anyway, you tap T2, collect the evidence 3. Each opponent loses 3 life unless they discard a card or sacrifice a creature. Now your opponent's empty-handed, and you got this out on the battlefield. They're not going to be able to discard a card, so therefore they'll have to sacrifice a creature or lose 3 life. I like it.
Oh yeah. It's good if you have like a graveyard, a graveyard deck. Where you like one stuff in the graveyard.
Yep.
For the top part, and then if you want to deal some damage, you can always do the collect evidence. And this Polygraph Orb would go pretty well with this chalk line down here.
Chalk line.
The chalk line outline, whenever you get rid of one or more creatures, you create a token and investigate.
Where was that spoiled yesterday?
No, that's the one after Repulsive Mutation.
Oh, that green one.
Uh-huh.
Whenever one or more creatures leave your graveyard, though.
Yeah, if it's going into exile, it's leaving your graveyard.
Yeah. I don't see nothing about sacrifice. I mean, exiling on Polygraph Orb.
To collect evidence, 3. Exile cards with total mana value 3 or greater.
Oh, yeah. The evidence. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, I'm still trying to get used to the evidence. But yeah, you're right. That would work. Nice. Okay, let's move on.
Alright, we got Repeat Offender. A 1 and a black. It's a creature human assassin. For 2 and a black, if repeat offender is suspected, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Otherwise, suspect it.
Ooh.
This will be good for a card like Agency of Corner.
Yeah. And not only that, it grows. So you pay 2 and a black, and you suspect it. And then the next turn, you pay 2 and a black, you grow it, so it can turn into a 3/2 the very next turn. Now it won't
it does not say it has to be once per turn. So if you have the mana, you can turn this into a big creature.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty. I think it's pretty good, actually. I mean, you can't block with it, but it'll have menace, and I think it'll be pretty good actually, because it gets buffed. I think the buffing ability is what helps this card right here. Otherwise, I don't think it'd be a good card. But by you being able to buff it and it takes 2 creatures to block it, I think it's going to be a good card. I think it might see a lot of play. Okay, the next one we have is Aftermath Analyst for 1 generic and 1 green elf detective. It's 1/3. When Aftermath Analyst enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. Well, that's a way to get stuff into your graveyard. Then pay 3 and a green, sacrifice Aftermath Analyst, return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Nice. Good way to ramp yourself if you mill a bunch of lands into your graveyard. And say you use those life gain land fetchers. This will bring those back to the battlefield where you can fetch some more lands. And if you play more than one of these, then you keep doing that.
This card is going to get out of hand really fast, especially if paired with the commander I'm thinking of.
But for standard, I think this is going to be a very good card.
Standard, I see it getting banned in some formats.
I do too, but I think it's a pretty good card just because of that sacrifice effect. Okay.
Yeah, that sacrifice effect is nuts.
Yes, it is.
All right. You want me to go to the next one?
Yes, we're just going to keep continuing on.
All right. Get a leg up. Funny name. For 1 green, it's an instant. Until end of turn, target creature you gets +1/+1 for each creature you control and gains reach.
Ooh, that's a good instant there.
Oh, yeah. I could see it.
Say you got a 1/1 out on the battlefield, and you got 5 others out on the battlefield. That creature turns into a 6/6 till end of turn and gains reach. Oh my god.
This would be good for defense mostly, I'd see.
Yeah, it'd be good for defense. It's more of to me, it makes me think of more of a defensive card than a offense.
Might be used as offense as like a last resort.
Yeah. I have
hello, Mr. D. DJ Long here.
Yeah, I have my mind, Dave Blaggett. I have Tony with me. You can go ahead and tell what you go by.
Just call me Taco, call me Tony, whichever you feel more comfortable with.
Yeah, Taco Tony. All right. Next, we have pick your poison for 1 green. Sorcery speed. See how good it is. All right, choose one. So you can only choose one of these. You have 3 things you can do. Each opponent sacrifices an artifact. Okay. Each opponent sacrifices an enchantment. Okay. And each opponent sacrifices a creature with flying. We've seen,
cool.
We've seen effects like this, cards like this in Standard all the time. It seems like a card like this enters Standard all the time, but this one, what makes this a little different is you got 3 choices. This card, I think it might see maybe just a little bit of play. I don't think it's one of those great cards, but I think it's a good card.
It's good if your opponent's like been buzzing you with a flying creature and you just want to get rid of it.
Right. Or if they have a bad enchantment on the battlefield, you can play this and get rid of it, or an artifact. Yeah, it's not too bad.
I could see it being used as a political card.
Yeah. That's what it is, more likely, just a political card. So I'd rate this as 3 spots I have the cards in. I'd rate this maybe good, but just on the hairline of being good.
That's
and between
true.
Between being good and bad.
Yeah. It's good that it's unique too.
Yeah.
Like Miss DJ was saying in the chat, not too many cards that make your opponent sacrifice in green.
Right.
So you're making him pick. Him, her.
Correct. All right.
Give it points for being unique.
Correct. That's why I say it's not bad, but it's not real. But it's on the hairline of being good. But it sure is not a great card. That's my opinion. And all this is just, like I said earlier, it's all just opinionated.
Mm.
All right, let's move on to the next.
We got a Rakish Scoundrel. A 2 black green creature elf rogue with Death Touch.
Ooh.
When Rakish Scoundrel enters the battlefield or is turned face up, target creature gains indestructible until end of turn. And it has Disguise 4 in multi between black and green. So you can pay either black or green for each of those pips.
Hybrid. You pay 3 and play it as a 2/2 creature with Ward 2. And then pay the disguise cost anytime, like an instant. So you pay for a total of 6, you can flip it and give a creature indestructible. Not a bad effect.
There's cheaper ways of giving your creatures indestructible.
Yep. I'd give this
and more effective.
Yep. Well, I'd give this probably a good rating. It's not bad. It's not great, but I believe it's good.
I mean, you could always give it flash because it does have the enter the battlefield, which is better than most of the other ones that I've seen on here so far.
Yeah.
Like, which one is it? Like, Mistway Spy?
Mm-hmm. Now, the next card we have is for 1 generic and 1 red. It's a 2/1. Goblin Citizen. Innocent Bystander. Okay. Whenever Innocent Bystander is dealt 3 or more damage, investigates. Not bad. So if it gets dealt 3 damage or more, then you get to investigate. And if you bump this up, then it takes 3 damage. It's safe. And then you get to get that investigate. I can see this being played probably in a Boros deck with that Virtue, the white Virtue. That way you can buff it. Then every time it takes through damage, you get to investigate. And back to that pick your poison. Yeah, I believe it would be better if it was an instance. That's hurting it too. But this innocent bystander, what do you think about it? You still there, Taco Tony? I think we lost him. Let me check real quick. You still there, Taco Tony?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
All right. What do you think about the innocent bystander?
I think it's pretty good if you wanted like an investigate token
Mm-hmm.
quickly. So if you have like something that populates, making more tokens, you can always.
You're cutting out a little bit. Next up, we have a foreign card. Relieve the Past. For 5 green and a white, and it's a sorcery. Return up to 1 target artifact card, up to 1 target land card, and up to 1 target non-aura enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. They are 5/5 elemental creatures in addition to their other types. Oh my god. So it's going to cost you 7, but you get an artifact, a land, and an enchantment for a total of 15 power onto the battlefield. I like this card. But my problem with this, it should have been an instance.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's a pretty good card because you get a total of 15 power onto the battlefield.
Plus ETBs.
Exactly. You get ETBs from your enchantments and artifact, because they're still artifacts and enchantments. So you still get those abilities again. So, and they're 5/5, so total 15. Yeah, it's a good card. But it's just that cost though. It's not really what's like cost effective.
Yeah.
Okay, you got the next one.
Yeah, sorry, I got called by my mom.
Okay, I'll take over then. All
no,
right.
That's why I was gone for a minute.
Oh, that's fine.
Alright, Alright, we got Kylox's Voltage Strider. A 1 blue and red. It's an artifact vehicle. Ooh. Love some vehicles. It's got Collect Evidence 6. Kylox Voltage Strider becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. When it attacks, you can cast an instant or sorcery spell among the cards exiled with it. If that spell would be put into the graveyard, put it at the bottom of the owner's library instead.
Ooh.
And it has Crew 2.
Nice.
This, I can tell you, is a good vehicle.
Yes.
Especially if you're playing like a sling deck.
Mm-hmm. Sling a creature to the opponent's face. Collect 6 evidence. Make sure one of those evidence is your sling spell.
Or it could be your whole sling spell.
Yep. And then you get that sling spell back into your deck. So yeah, I think this is a pretty good card here. It's a 4/4 for a 1 blue and a red. Yeah, I like it. I like this card.
I can see this card getting used a lot.
I can too. I like it.
3 mana. What were they thinking?
Exactly. Okay, next up we have Blood Splatter Analysis. For a black and red enchantment. When Blood Splatter Analysis enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to target creature an opponent controls. If one or more creatures die, mill a card and put a Bloodstain counter on Blood Splatter Analysis. Then sacrifice it if it has 5 or more Bloodstain counters on it. When you do, return target creature card from your graveyard back to your hand. Nice. But you have to kill... Alright, whenever one or more creatures die. So when you kill your opponent's creatures, this gets a Blood Splatter counter on it. Bloodstain counter on it when you kill your opponent's creatures. Then, after that, you can get a creature card back from your graveyard back to your hand. I like it. Good reanimator.
Yes, very. And it's good if your deck likes to mill.
Yeah. I like it.
Because there's also another mechanic I don't think some people have heard of called Dredge. Where the creature in the graveyard, you have to mill the top like so and so cards of your deck, and you get to put it back into your hand.
Interesting. All right, next up we have Prophet's Edict Memory for 2. Legendary enchantments. Okay. And Prophet's Edict Memory enters the battlefield, draw a card, and you have no maximum hand size. Nice. Then at the beginning of combat, on your turn, if you've drawn more than 1 card this turn, put X 1/1 counters on target creature you control, where X is the number of cards you've drawn this turn -1. Oh, this is good.
Yes. Good if you're in a draw deck.
Yes. And there's a card in Standard right now, lets you draw 2, and it lets you and your opponent draw 2. And if you have this on your side of the battlefield, you play that card, yeah, you're going to get taxed. But you're getting +1/+1 counters. I see this card being... I could rate this card as being a great card. What would you rate it as?
It's going to be a good card. Because it also has the downside of being a legendary enchantment. So you can only have 1 copy of it.
Well, Mirror Box.
Oh yeah, but it's good otherwise.
So you'd rate this as being good or great or bad?
It's great.
Okay.
I see it being used a lot.
Okay. We got 4 more.
Alright. I guess I'll take over for this one. Alright, Archdruid's Charm. For 3 green, you can play an instant with the ability choose 1, search your library for a creature or a land card and reveal it. Put it onto the battlefield tapped if it's a land card. Otherwise, put it into your hand, then shuffle. So you got yourself a 3-cost little tutor. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then you could put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It deals damage to its power to target creature you don't control.
Ooh.
Also a good effect.
Nice.
That's a good effect. Or, if that's not good enough for you, you could just exile a target artifact or enchantment. So it's removal as well.
Hey, Sandwich. Now
Hi,
this,
Sandwich.
yeah. Now this card, I would put it into.
This would be.
I'll put it into the
great.
great. Yeah, I'll put it into the great category.
You got a tutor, a damage dealer, and a removal.
Yeah.
What more can you ask for?
Exactly.
Great card.
Next up, we have us a artifact creature construct, Barbed Servitor, for 3 and a black, 1/1. Okay, it has indestructible 1/1. Nice.
That's cool.
When Barbed Servitor enters the battlefield, suspected. So you can't block with it, but you can give it menace. When Barbed Servitor deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. Whenever Barbed Servitor is dealt damage, target opponent loses that much life. Oh my god.
Hello, James.
What's up, James Willis? This card, I'd have to put it into the great.
Yeah, just for that last ability, it's a great card. It's a what's that card called?
Yeah, I know.
Something doll.
Yeah, I know the card you're talking about. But yeah, it's this card here. Your opponents will not want to block this, so you can ping them for 1 all day long.
Stuffy doll. It's a cheaper stuffy doll.
But for 4, I mean, I can understand why it costs 4. It's a 1/1 for 4. At first, I looked at this, and it's 1/1, and you're paying 4 for it. It can't be no good. But when I actually read the card, oh my gosh, this is a great card. I mean, you can't kill it because it has indestructible. The only way to kill this is to exile it. But, or exile it or give it -1/-1. But other than that, if it deals damage, you get to draw. Yeah, you lose a life, but you're drawing. So you're paying for that draw. But if it's blocked, then your opponent loses 1 life. Unless you buff it up. Now, as you buff this card up, because there's ways of buffing it up. Especially you playing this in Orzhov. So if you're playing this in Orzhov, you buff this up. Your opponent's going to either have to block it or kill it. And if they block it, they're still going to lose that life. Very, very good. I mean, I rate this card here as being great.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna see this in a lot of decks. Not as many as the stuffy doll, but
oh yeah,
it's gonna be in a bunch of decks. I can already tell.
Yep. So what's your opinion about the card?
It's an indestructible little construct, 4 mana. When it deals combat damage, you lose a life, but that's the price that you gotta pay. And that's what Black's known for, is drawing a card and losing life.
Mm-hmm.
And who could have predicted that Wizards of the Coast was going to bring a cheaper stuffy doll into the mix?
Really?
Yeah, because stuffy doll is 5 mana. This is 4.
Yeah. 1 cheaper.
Oh yes, it is.
So I take it.
I love it.
So I take it you're giving this a great rating.
Yes, sir.
Let's say I kind of like Zing Ripper a bit. Okay.
Let me look that up.
Vein Ripper.
Die as target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life.
Hmm.
Oh.
Is that from today's? Is that from the spoilers?
Nah.
Oh, okay. Well, you get the next one, and I'll take the last one.
Oh, wait, yeah, it is. It's not today's, but it came out.
Oh.
Comes out in the set.
Oh, cool.
Alright, we got Cornered Trickster. A 4 and a red. A creature, Viashino Warrior. When Cornered Trickster enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice an artifact. When you do, Cornered Trickster deals 3 damage to any target. It's a 5/4.
5/4 with the ability to sack an artifact and do 3 damage to any target. So you can do that straight to the opponent's face.
Mm-hmm. And it is a pretty big creature for how much it is.
Yeah, it does have a pretty good booty on it. 5/4. So yeah.
I just don't like that it's when it enters.
Yeah. I mean, you only get to do it once. But yeah, that 3 damage could change the game.
Very much.
So what do you rate this?
It's good.
I'm thinking the same thing. I'd rate it as good. Not great. Not bad, but good.
I'd play it, but only for it's like 5/4.
Yep.
Mainly.
Yeah, that 5/4 to me is what makes it good.
Yeah.
And doing the 3 damage. So. Yeah. All right, the next and last card we have is Daredevil Detective. 1 in a red. It's a creature Daredevil Detective. Okay. Whenever Daredevil Detective attacks, you may sacrifice an artifact or discard a card. If you do, draw a card and Daredevil Detective gets +2/+0 until end of turn. It's a 0/3. So when you attack with it, you turn it into a 2/3. And
you get to draw a card.
Yeah. And you draw a card if you discard a card. You discard a card, draw a card, or you sacrifice an artifact. This card,
I can see use for it.
I'll rank it as being good. Hairline good because it can easily be killed.
It's good because of the draw effect.
Yeah, it's good because
that's the only reason it's good.
Yeah, I agree. That's the only reason why I'm putting it in as good. Hairline good. Not bad, but not real good because of the booty only being 3 and doesn't have any toughness. But other than that, it's good. But it's not a great card.
Yeah.
Now limited, it probably is good. Okay, let's refresh this and just to see.
You don't want to do the last one?
I just did the last one.
No, there's one more.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, there's one more.
I don't see it.
Tunnel Tipster?
Oh, well, there's 4 more actually. What side are you using?
Oh, I'm using the same site as you. I just refreshed the page and now I saw 3 more.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead with that.
Alright, Tunnel Tipster. A 1 and a green. It's a creature mole scout. At the beginning of your end step, if a face-down creature entered the battlefield under your control this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Tunnel Tipster, and it has tap to add 1 green. Or add green. That's a pretty good effect.
Yeah, it's a growing Manadork. Yeah, I would say this is on probably the high good. Just because it's a Manadork that grows.
Yeah, 2 mana Manadork that can grow for every card you place face down.
And since it's able to grow, and they're really pushing this play cards upside down. So I can see this seeing a lot of play, but I'm gonna rate this as being not great, but on the high good. Because I cannot rate this as being bad because since it grows, and it's a Manadork at that. So yeah, I'm going to rate this as being a high level good.
With it also being in green, if you get it high enough, you could also put trample onto it.
Yeah, sure can. All right, next one we have Slime Against Humanity for 2 generic and a green. Sorcery. Create a 0/0 green ooze creature token with trample. Nice. Put X 1/1 counters on it, where X is 2, plus the total number of cards you own in exile and in your graveyard that are oozes or are named Slime Against Humanity. A deck can have any number of cards named Slime Against Humanity. Oh my god. Really? A card.
Read that last part out again.
A deck can have any number of cards named Slime Against Humanity.
Oh, great. It's another one of those rats.
Yeah. So, and it's automatically going to be a plus 2/2. Or let's say create 0/0 green ooze creature token with trample. But X 1/1 counters on it, where X is 2 plus the total number of cards you own in exile. So it's going to be a 2/2 when you play this. So you're going to get a 2/2 token when you play this card for the first time. Then after that, you can, the more times you play this card, the bigger those oozes become. I see this, I can see it being good, I can see it being a great card.
Yeah, if paired with the right commander.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you think? I mean, you think it's a good sorcery for 3?
Oh yes. Especially with that last bit of a deck can have any number of cards named this. I can see it being pretty good.
Okay. Hey, Benson. Okay.
I have no idea who that is.
He's another streamer. Check him out.
Oh, I figured that. I mean the guy who's calling me.
Oh. Yeah, you can have the next one.
Alright, they win went this way. 2 and a green, a sorcery. Search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Investigate.
Interesting. So you get a land and you get an investigate token. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but I think there are better ones than this.
Yeah, I'm going to rate this as being good because you get two things. You're getting a land and you're getting an investigate token.
Yeah, it's not bad, but...
It's not bad, but it's not good.
Mm-hmm.
It falls on the hairline of being good and bad. And Benson, you can drop your link into the chat there if you want to. I thought I had your link, but I don't.
Yeah,
All right, the next...
Personally, I don't like it because for 3 mana, you only get 1 land.
Yeah, but it's still ramp, though.
Yeah.
It's still ramp. Now, you might just need one ramp, one card, one land to play your big creature on your next turn. And if not, you can still get that land for a future turn, and you can investigate. Which is pretty good, I think.
Oh, yeah.
All right, next up, we got Lazav, Warrior of Faces. For a blue and a black. It's a 2/3. It's a shapeshifter detective. Nice. Now, whenever Lazav, Warrior of Faces attacks, exile target cards from a graveyard, then investigate. Okay. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, you may have Lazav become a copy of a creature card exiled with it until the end of turn.
I can see that being pretty good.
I see it being a great card.
Yeah.
I'd put this in a great cat. Yeah, it'd go in a great category.
You brew this just right, and you could probably tear some people up with it.
Yep. Say you have your Shaholder that flips. Say you exile it with this card. And then when you exile it, this will become that's Shaholder. So your opponent will have to sacrifice a creature. Because that
you can do that multiple times.
Exactly.
As long as you got the mana.
Yep.
Or you have something that could sacrifice those clues.
So yeah, this is good.
Yeah, very.
As long as you have a clue on the battlefield, this card is going to be great. And just like this works with They Went This Way. But that's dipping into 3 colors too, though. So this is, I'm gonna rate this as being borderline great.
Yeah, I think it is great because Dimir is a good color combo.
Yeah, it is. But you gotta have a way. But the reason why I'm rating this as being borderline great is because you have to have a way to make a clue every turn. Now, there's a way to make a clue every turn, but this is going to go from hairline great to very top of great. With the other cards that are great. And oops, I agree. This might be busted. All right, let's refresh, see if there's any more. Yep, they just dropped another one.
Ooh. All right. We got a Aang's Ainsrag, the Quake Mole. For 2 red and green, Gruul. Nice color combo. It's a mole god. Whenever Ainsrag, the Quake Mole, becomes blocked, untap each creature you control. After this combat phase, there's an additional combat phase.
Oh. Ouch.
Alright. And then for 3, red, and green, Ainsrag must be blocked each combat this turn if able. Ooh. And he's an 8/4.
Oh. 8/4 for 4. And
infinite combats.
Yes. Well, you only get 2 combats. But if you have, see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, if you have that 7 land in the battlefield, then it's going to get through no matter what. If not get through, it's going to kill something on the battlefield. Because your opponent has to block if you have that land. I want to rate this as being great.
Yeah, this is a great card. Because I've faced off against some guys who were playing some extra combat decks. This guy would fit in perfectly with them.
Yep. And DJ, you're right about the Lazif Rare of Faces. It does have to attack in order to become a copy of the creature. But yeah, this Ainsrag, the Quake Mole god.
Oh, actually, DJ, Lazoth doesn't have to attack to become a target of that creature.
No, it don't.
Or she has to attack in order to exile it. It doesn't even have to be an opponent's creature. It could be one of yours.
Yep. All you got to do is sacrifice a clue. Whenever you sacrifice, let's read that again. Whenever Lazarus Rare Faces attacks, exile target card from a graveyard. So if you exile a creature from your graveyard or your opponent's graveyard,
and then she investigates.
Then you investigate. Now, it will not become a copy of that creature that you just exiled unless you have 2 more mana and sacrifice that clue. Because then when you sacrifice that clue, then it becomes that copy. Now let's say it's your next turn and you still got that clue token. If you just sacrifice that clue token, then Lazif can become that copy of that creature without attacking. It's just every time it attacks, you exile a card from a graveyard.
Oh, and it can also be used on your opponent's turn.
Yep.
You got like a stacks piece that you exiled, you could just make it become that.
Exactly.
It could be an artifact, enchantment, whatever.
Yep. Now.
Oh no, it has to be a creature.
Right.
I just read that. My bad.
Yeah, it has to be a creature. Now back to this other one that we're going over, the Mole God. I gonna rate this as being great.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, it's in green. It's got green in it. There's rampant green. Therefore, by it being rampant green, you can play, for example, that battle that gets you 2 lands. You can play that battle and you can get your 2 red or a green and a red, so you'll get your land easily. And there's also cards that's in standard right now that can even reduce that cost. Reduce cost of activated abilities. And yeah, Power Stones will pay for the colorless. So yeah, this is going to be, to me, it's going to be rated great. Near the very top, actually. All right, let's see if there's any more. What? Yeah. I think that is it for today. Now they may drop some more between now and tomorrow. And if they do, I will do another stream like this. And then if anybody wants to come on the stream with me, just like Taco Tony here, and discuss the cards with me, you're more than welcome to join. All you got to do is just let me know and I'll send you a link.
Yeah, this was fun. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, anytime. Now, out of today, let me ask you a question. Now, out of today's cards, which one, now if you had to pick one, which one is your favorite?
My favorite one so far.
I know that's a tough question.
Oh yeah, most of these are good cards. I'd have to say it's probably that artifact vehicle, the Kylox's Voltage Strider.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have an artifact deck that this could fit into.
Okay. The card he's talking about is this card right here. For 1, blue, red. Collect evidence 6, and it will become a creature. So you don't have to crew it if you collect the evidence 6. And when it attacks, you may cast instant or sorcery spell from among the exile cards with it. If that spell would be put into the graveyard, instead it goes to the bottom of your deck. And you can crew it for 2. And DJ said his favorite card is the Charm.
And the Mole.
You're a mole.
Arcanized's Charm for 3 green. You get to choose one. Search your library for a creature or land. Reveal it and put it onto the battlefield if tapped if it's a land. Otherwise, you put the creature into your hand, then shuffle. Or you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Then it deals damage equal to its power to a target creature you don't control. Or you exile an artifact or enchantment. Yeah, I like that card myself. It's good. And now if I choose a card, my favorite card for today, I'd have to choose the Mole God. I would have to choose the Mole God. I'd have to say it's one of my favorites. Yeah, that charm is very universal. But yeah, the Mole God is so good just because it's an 8/4 and it does, and not only that, 2 battle phases, 2 combat phases. That's insane.
More if you have even more extra combat spells.
Yeah. There's probably I believe this card right here, this Mole God, I believe there is going to be a combo with this, infinite combo with this, to where your opponent is not going to be able to play.
Yeah. Within the week it comes out.
Oh yeah, most definitely. That makes you want to check the arena, check these cards out, see what I can come up with about combat phases. But the second card I would pick would probably be Liza, Wearer of Faces. That card, it's not too bad at all. The only problem I see with it is the clues. But I see a lot of cards making clues within this set. Yeah, that exile artifact enchantment. Yeah, that's going to be pretty good. But yeah, this Shapeshifter Detectives, I think it's going to be played some.
Mm-hmm.
But the next broken card I see, Slime Against Humanity. Because you can have an all green deck with filled up with nothing but sorceries. You can have a complete sorcery deck.
Yes, DJ, you can.
Yeah, you can pop that clue anytime. As long as you got 2 mana to pop it, you can pop it anytime. Cause it's like an instant. You can sacrifice it like you would play an instant. So yes, you can sacrifice that clue token at any time. You can do it when you're attacking. You can do it when you're not attacking. When you're defending. Anytime. As long as there's a creature in a graveyard. But you have to, no, you're going to have to attack with this once. Unless there's cards exiled already.
No, it has to be with her.
I don't say that. It just says whenever it attacks, exile target card from a graveyard, then investigate.
Yeah, when you create that token, keep track of whatever token you made with it. Because when you pop it, you have to make a copy of a creature exiled with it until end of turn.
Whenever you sacrifice a clue.
With the
creature. Yeah, you're right. You do have to attack with it at least once to exile a creature from a graveyard. So yeah, I think it's going to be good as long as there's a way to make multiple clue tokens. Because it does not keep that creature type until
No, it becomes the whole copy.
Until end of turn.
Yep.
So it does not keep that card. Does not stay that copy. Unless you have multiple clue tokens to crack. If you have multiple clue tokens to crack, then you can turn this into that other creature in multiple turns. Like on your turn, then your opponent's turn. You have 2 clue tokens. You can crack 1 clue on your turn, have it become the creature that's exiled. And then your opponent's turn, you crack another clue token and it becomes that copy again. You see how it plays? Yeah, you only get 1 clue token from it. See, when it attacks, exile target card from my graveyard, and then investigate. So every time you exile a creature, you get a clue token. So they do want you to attack a lot with this. It gets the ability only on attack. Well, it exiles a creature on attack. But you can sacrifice the clue anytime to make it become the copy of the creature. Because whenever Laws of War faces attacks, you exile target card from a graveyard. then investigate. So you have to attack to get the clue token. And then without attacking, all you gotta do is sacrifice a clue. Then you may have it become a copy of the creature that you exiled until end of turn. That's what I'm reading. That's the way it's played. You had to attack to exile. But then once you exile, you get a clue. Then you sacrifice that clue to make it become a copy of a creature. So yeah, you do have to attack to get the clue. Then once you crack that clue, you have to attack again with it to get another clue token. But you can sacrifice that clue at any time to make it become a copy. Make it become a copy of the creature. You see how I'm reading it there, DJ? So yes, you have to attack with to get the clue to make it a creature. But that's got to be how that works.
Yes, as long as that card's exiled with your creature, you can turn it into that creature.
Right, as long as you have a clue. But you don't get a clue token unless you attack with it.
Oh, it doesn't matter what clue it is, as long as the creature's out on field.
Well, you have to have a clue. But you ain't going to get no clue token unless you attack with it.
There's many ways to make clues.
Yeah. Now, you do have another way. If you have other clues out there, then you can use those with this. But if you ain't got no other clue out there, then you have to attack with it. You see what I'm saying here? Because whenever Lizeth Warrior or faces attacks, exile target card from a graveyard, then investigate. So when it attacks, you investigate, which is making that clue. So let's say you attack with it twice, and you exile 2 cards. Then you get 2 clues. Because you're exiled 2 cards. You see where I'm coming from on this, Taco Tony?
Oh, yeah.
Right, as long as the card is exiled with this card, it can become like that copy.
Yeah, so as long as you can find a way to make a clue token,
yep.
You can make your creature become whatever you want.
Right. Let's say you exile two different creatures from your opponent's graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
You exile them, this creature, and then when you attack 2 times, exile 2 different creatures from your opponent's graveyard. Then this will become a copy of either one of those cards, as long as you sacrifice a clue.
Yep.
You can do it, and you can sacrifice that clue while you're attacking.
Yep.
While you're blocking.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime that you have a clue, you can get this effect.
Very cool effect.
That's why this card is good. Although you do have to attack in order to exile and get that clue token.
Yeah, it's actually when that you have to get a new target, but
right. Well, that's what Yep, that's what I'm talking. Yep, that's what I'm talking about, DJ. You have to attack with this to exile a creature from your opponent's graveyard. Has to be exiled with this creature here.
Mm-hmm.
Then once it gets exiled, you get that clue. Let's see if anything else is dropped. Nope. Ain't nothing else dropping today, I don't believe. Because here it is, almost 5:30 my time. So yeah, that's pretty good cards have been spoiled today. Now, this Prophet's Edict's Memory, I think it's a pretty good card. Because when you enter the battlefield, you get to draw a card, and you have no maximum hand size. That's good. Now, at the beginning of your turn, if you draw more than one card this turn, you buff a creature up. However many cards you draw. And there's ways to draw like 7 cards in blue right now. Just in mono blue. Draw cards equal to the amount of, I can't think of the name of the card, but you draw cards equal to the amount of blue lands that you have on the battlefield. But yeah, you can only use creatures exiled by Eliza's to activate its ability. But anyway, this legendary enchantment, Prophet's Edict's Memory, I think it's going to see a lot of play. What do you think, Taco Tony?
It's going to see a lot of play. I agree.
Okay. Well, folks, we've went over the spoilers for today. And you can tune in to my channel while I'm doing my morning streams. And I also go over the spoilers. And then after that, I do my commander game at 2 o'clock. My morning stream's at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. My second stream is at around 2 o'clock. And that is Commander on Spell Table. And then after that, I'm going to be doing, streams like this where I have a guest on to go over the cards with and discuss. And then anybody's more than welcome to join me to discuss the cards. And so I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. And I would appreciate it if everybody would like the stream. And if you want to join in on the Commander games, then make sure you join the Discord. And you can sign up for Commander games in the Discord. Just let me know that you want to play, and I'll send you an invite to the Commander games. But I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. Thank you. I want to say thank you to everybody who showed up. Thank you, Taco Tony, for going over the cards with me.
Oh, no problem.
And I hope everybody has you a good day. And I'll see you tomorrow. Y'all have a good one. Later, everybody.